MAGA voters don't like Trump's cabinet appointments. He is not moving to the center. What?
Look, people voted for Donald Trump to have lower prices and a secure border. I don't think they voted for the appointments that they're getting. I've worked as colleagues with both Tulsi Gabbard and Matt Gaetz, so I'll let the Senate make their determination. But it's a indication, including of Tom Harmon and also Stephen Miller, of just where this president's going to go. I mean, he's not moving to the center. He's going to his MAGA base. And we'll see if he's overreaching on the mandate that he had from the American people.
Get the fuck out of here, man. These guys will just lie about anything. Holy shit. Good Lord. So people aren't happy about Elon Musk. People aren't happy about Vivek. People aren't happy about RFK. Are you kidding me? Here's why people like that are running their mouths. I'll show you right now. We've got Vivek, who's breaks down right here what Doge is going to be all about.
He announced that Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk would lead the new Department of Government Efficiency. Earlier today, Vivek took to Twitter saying in part, quote, "If we're ever going to crush the bureaucracy, it's going to happen from the outside. Just the hard truth." And today, the department's X account was launched with a tweet saying, quote, "Working overtime to ensure that your tax dollars will be spent wisely." Vivek Ramaswamy joins us now. All right, so you're partnering with the smartest guy in the country. There's no doubt about it. And the richest guy. But you look at Elon Musk and he's a genius. If you can figure out a way to go save those astronauts that are lost in space, God bless you. I could never figure that out in 500 lifetimes. So I admire that. He's talking about $2 billion.
But let's be clear. And I think that I feel like Sean Hannity was maybe he was. I'm not a fan of Sean Hannity, to be clear. I feel like Sean Hannity was slightly disrespectful to Vivek because Vivek is a pretty smart dude on his own right. So yes, he is partnering with the brilliant genius Elon Musk, but Vivek is pretty high IQ his damn self. He's a smart dude. By the way, Mike, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. I appreciate that. All right, here we go. Continuing.
Cuts by identifying waste, fraud, and abuse. Is that a realistic number? That's a big number.
Yeah, 2 billion isn't a big number, but 2 trillion is, Sean, and that's what we're looking at here. Look,
2 trillion. I stand corrected.
No, I want to be very clear about the scale. I want to be very clear about the scale that we're thinking here. We're not thinking small. We're playing big here because we have a once-in-a-generation mandate right now. The American people have voted for drastic reform of the government, and our federal government is broken. It's no secret that it is a fourth branch of government, the administrative state that makes most of the rules, that creates a federal bureaucracy that's hampering our economy. So what do we want to do? We want to go in and slash and burn that bureaucracy to help Americans, stimulate the economy, and to restore self-governance again, Sean. The people we elect to run the government, they're not even the ones who run the government anymore. It's these unelected bureaucrats. Republican politicians have talked about fixing this for a long time, not with a lot of progress. So I do think it's going to take a couple of outsiders. Elon and I have built a great friendship over the last year. We're working together intensely, and we're not going to stop till we get the job done.
When Ronald Reagan became president, on the issue of defense, he called it a gap of vulnerability. China, Russia, they have hypersonic missile technology. We do not. We're going to have to spend a lot of money on defense to catch up and to surpass our enemies. Social Security, Medicare are headed towards insolvency. We'll have to spend money there. To me, that money is going to be made up through energy dominance. That's where I think our greatest opportunity is. Your thoughts?
Look, part of what's holding back energy dominance in this country is that administrative state. Look at the regulations coming out of the Department of Interior, the slow permitting requirements, how hard it is to open a new refinery. So I think that is the root cause of our failure as a country, is this unelected fourth branch of government. And I think they look at elected officials as these cute little puppets that come and go every little while. Not anymore. There's a new sheriff in town. Donald Trump's the president. He has mandated us.
So there's talk of Elon Musk being president. Yeah, he can't run for president, but in all reality, let's just be clear. Like, I think that Elon Musk is going to be involved for the next 20 years with the president, as long as it continues to be people like JD Vance, Vivek, people that are on the Republican side, people that are from the Trump side of things. It's like right now, Elon's as close to being president as he's ever going to be right now because of how closely he's working with Trump. And if you think that Elon is going away after 4 years, you haven't really been paying attention to what's going on. Elon's going to be absolutely involved with the next phase of all of this, 100%.
For radical, drastic reform of this federal bureaucracy with the learnings of that first term. And you look, Elon and I mean, Elon's solving major problems of physics. I came from the world of biology. What we're solving here now is not a natural problem. This is a man-made problem. And when you have a man-made problem, you better darn well have a man-made solution. That's what we're bringing to the table. We're assembling the brightest minds in the country. This is the equivalent of a modern Manhattan Project to take on, I think, the major problem holding our country back. It's the federal bureaucracy. Target that cost, save the money.
Remember when Trump used to make fun of Elon? I do. I never forget this, where I talked about this and I said, please, for the love of everything, please get these guys on the same page, because we need Elon and Trump on the same page. Never would I have imagined that they're literally like, it's like stepbrothers, man. Like did we just become best friends? Like, that's what it is. I don't know how this happened. It's like the moment that Trump got shot, Elon went from Trump's probably the guy to I am the biggest Trump supporter on the planet. And now they're just bros. Everywhere you go, Trump won't stop complimenting Elon. He's complimenting his mom. He's telling these stories about rockets. Elon's jumping up on stage with a dark MAGA hat. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. I can't believe it. And this is, again, 2 years ago. These guys did not like each other. They did not like each other. They were taking shots at each other because they didn't know each other. It's wild, and I'm so thankful for it.
Restore self-governance. And Sean, I think we did something pretty novel here, if I may say so. If I just want to say is this Department of Government Efficiency, it is built with an end date. We want to be done by July 4th, 2026. So for the first time in history, creating a department, creating a new government project that is designed to end when its work is complete. That's on the 250th anniversary of America's Declaration of Independence. And that's the gift we want to give this country on that birthday.
Well, I hope Congress adopts your recommendations. They did not do so in the Reagan years with the Grace Commission. What are the first things you're going to look at?
Look, we got a long list, and a lot of this is to stay tuned for what's coming on January 20th, because some of this we do want to come as in a big way swinging on day one. But I'll give you some examples, Sean. Most federal employees right now, most Americans don't recognize this. They don't even show up to work. So if you tell people you have to affirm that you want a job, that you have to show up to work 5 days a week, how many of those employees are going to quit right out the gate? That's a question.
That is going to be so much simpler. So to be a person that works from home, you have to be a very self-motivated person. And most people aren't self-motivated. Most people need structure. They need to be held accountable. If you're working from home, you're going to do the bare minimum if you're not a very self-motivated person. That's not a criticism of it. That's just the reality of it. I mean, if I didn't love what I did, if I wasn't passionate about what I do, and of course I own my own business and everything like that, but if I wasn't passionate about what I do, I would be like, I'll just do the bare minimum. You know, if I worked for the government or something like that, you have to be really, really self-motivated. And most of these people just are doing the bare minimum because they're laying around at home, eating Cheetos, you know, watching TV, scrolling the internet while supposedly supposed to be doing the job they're supposed to be doing. Having them come into an office, showing up on time every day, being held accountable, changes the game. And it makes it more efficient, which is why it's called the Department of Government Efficiency.
Question we should ask. Those are the kinds of inefficiencies, low-hanging fruit that Democrats and Republicans or black or white Americans alike can agree on. We should not be wasting that kind of money as a federal government. And so in that sense, tackling this kind of waste, fraud, abuse, bureaucratic bloat, we're going for the stuff that's basic common sense that most Americans actually agree on. And I hope we're going to actually be able to help unite the country by eliminating waste, which is something that all Americans, regardless of partisan affiliation, can get behind. And that's how Elon and I are thinking about it.
I have less than a minute, but I think part of it has to be baseline budgeting, eliminate the built-in increases every year that we have for every department. I think getting rid of the Department of Education, giving that money directly to states, or maybe adopting something like the penny plan. Maybe it's the nickel plan where you cut, a nickel out of every dollar every year for 5 years.
Get rid of every single DEI program, any program that even has the slightest bit of DEI bullshit, cut it immediately, fire every single person involved with that. Don't even think twice about it. If you're involved in any DEI program, you got to go immediately. There's no way, shape, or form we keep you around. Fire all of them. Fire them and shame them, because we don't need that. That is it's social justice. I'll repeat what I've said on Geeks Gamers 1,000 times. Social justice is a disease. What do you do when you are told you have a disease? You do whatever you can to get rid of the disease, because if you don't get rid of the disease, it will spread. And once it spreads and takes over, it will eventually kill whatever it's spreading through. That's social justice right there. And if you don't cut that disease out of whatever it's involved in, it will kill whatever it spreads into. Cut it out and kill it immediately. When you're getting rid of a disease, you don't say, well, we're going to get rid of 90% of the disease. We're going to keep about 10% of it. Fuck that. Get rid of 100% of the disease. You don't keep any of the disease. All of it goes, no questions asked.
You balance the budget, which has not been done since Newt Gingrich was the Speaker of the House. You have about 30 seconds.
Well, funny enough, Sean, actually much of our spending is even for programs whose authorization has lapsed. So the authorization to spend the money, the appropriation has lapsed, and yet still the money still goes out the door. That's how broken the bureaucracy is. So I think it's going to take a couple of business guys to come in, do this from the outside. We're going to have fun while we're at it. It's going to be the most transparent effort. We're certainly aiming to make this a transparent process so the American people can see how their money is being wasted. So we're all in it on the same team to fix it. I can't wait for Donald Trump to get back in that White House on January 20th. He's given us a broad mandate with his full support to get this done. I'm grateful to him for that. And Elon and I are pretty excited to get started. So We'll see for what we have a few surprises in store for January.
That's going to be crazy. January 20th is going to be off the chain.